I gave my acoustic guitar a spa day, courtesy of Fretalizer fret polishing system. Hey everybody, Jayce Allan here, welcome back to the channel. So the folks at Fretalizer, FRTLZR, a German company that manufactures this fret polishing system and some other guitar. They have like a fret shaper, a spot leveler, a triangle file, and a string action gauge. They reached out to me and asked if I would like to review this fret polishing system. So I said yes, so they sent it on over to me. So I have an acoustic guitar that I was thinking about doing some work on. It's my Eastman guitar that I featured in a couple recent reviews of acoustic guitar microphones. And this is one of those guitars that has an undersaddle pickup system in it. And because the company didn't want to put any holes in the side of it, which is, that's a good idea, right? They have the battery compartment inside the guitar in a little nylon pouch. So basically, if you're at a gig and your battery runs out, you're kind of screwed because you really have to take the strings off to get to the battery compartment to change them. So what I'm going to do is I've bought one of these little plastic battery compartments. So we're going to mount that right about there so that the battery is no longer on the inside. And while we have the strings off to do that, we're going to go through the Fretalizer fret polishing system and kind of demo that. We'll oil up the fingerboard and clean this guitar up and get ready for another season of playing with this guitar. Okay, I'm all set up here on the bench. This is where I do my setups and the deep dives on the guitars that I review. So here is the Fretalizer. We'll open that up real quick just to show you what's included in the box. This is the kit with the, I think they're throwing the fret end foam block to sand down the fret ends. Right now you get that as a bonus. So you have this handle here, and this has got a groove in it, like a real a curved groove in the end of it, so that when you're sanding down or polishing down, the fret sort of fits right in that groove. It's really nice looking. It's got their logo on the front of it, sort of a honeycomb pattern in the end of it. It's pretty sturdy. And what you do with that is you take so there's a bunch of different grits in here. There's these fabric sanding pads for the frets, and those fit on the Fretalizer itself, and then they include like a black rubber band that goes around, and there's even little notches for it in that holder, so then you can sand these down. And then you get a block for fret ends, which you just kind of wrap the sandpaper around it and then file the fret ends down. And those are grits ranging from 400 all the way up to 7,000. And then the grits on these are, what did I say that was? 1,500, 2,400, 4,000, and 8,000. And then they sent me some picks. They got different picks that they make. These are a little softer than the white ones. These are firmer, and they're kind of textured, so they don't slip out of your fingers, and they're kind of curved too. See the curve on them, so that they fit in your hand really nice. So we'll talk about those in a little bit too. And then they include a little metal guard that goes over the frets to protect the fingerboard. Okay, so that's what's included in the kit itself. So we're going to remove the strings on this. If you don't have one of these are really handy. So you can crank the tuning key on your guitar tuners and unwind the strings really fast. And then it's got a little notch in it here, so you can get up under the pegs, the pins, and pull those out. So I've already loosened these strings and so I can pull the pegs out and then take the strings off. That way you don't have to unwind the string from the peg head. And then I just kind of take the strings and wrap them a couple times around each other so that they don't go anywhere. And a lot of times you can use a capo to hold the strings on, but we're going to be working on the fingerboard here, so we don't want to do that. So I've got, this is just a polish, like a cleaner wax used to polish the body and clean the body up. And then I've got, where did that go? A bottle of lemon oil. When you say lemon oil, it's not like lemon essential oil from lemons. It's mineral oil that has lemon scent in it, and it's really nice. So that polish, or like same type of thing you'd use for like a cutting board or something, and that use that to oil up the fretboard, because the fingerboard, I don't know if you can tell in the picture there, this one's really dry. So, and then this bridge gets dry too. So we'll take the saddle out also, we don't need that. So we're going to polish the frets first real quick. This is an older guitar, so the fret ends are already fine on it, but we'll kind of go over how that works too. But like I said, we put the rubber band around here, and this is the 15, so you start with the coarsest grit and work your way down. So we'll take that metal, wherever I put that metal guard, and we'll put that right over one of the frets, and then you just take a rubber band and kind of hold it on there, and there's little notches for the rubber band to hold that on. And then you take the thing and make sure the groove kind of fits. I mean, it fits right in there, so yeah, nice. So it cleans it up too, so it gets all the grit and stuff off of there. And then you just change it to the next grit, 2400. If you can hear all the noise in here today, I have every single dehumidifier in my basement studio running, because it's been raining nonstop here. We're in Michigan. We've got flooding, and it's been raining, and the humidity down in my studio is literally like, what was the, well, it's at 60% now because the dehumidifiers have been running, but when I came down here it was like 85%. So all my guitars are just not happy. Okay, and then we'll switch to the 4000. Nice. And then the 8000. Oh yeah. Very sweet. Very nice. Okay, so then that takes care of the frets, and then you can use this block here to sand down the fret ends. So I won't go too aggressive because these don't really need to be sanded down. So let's just polish it up a little bit with this 3000 grit sandpaper, but it's just a foam block. You wrap the sandpaper around it and then just go over. And then they recommend taping this part of your guitar up so that you don't scratch it. That's probably a good a good practice. Wow, look at that. That's crazy how much it polishes though. So, and then you can go through the grits, and because this is foam, it kind of conforms to the side of the guitar. So that's nice. So there you go. That's the Fretalizer. So that's cool. It's like 36. Is it 36? Is it euros right now? Because like I said, it comes from Germany. So I'll when I get back to the desk, I'll look at the price. Okay, so that is cool. So then we're going to oil up this fingerboard. And a bottle of this lemon oil will last you pretty much forever. Smells good. And then I just wipe it on. And it kind of cleans up the fretboard too. Darkens it up. And then that also cleans up any of the metal shavings, not shavings, but just a little bit of dust from using the polishing the frets. And we'll clean that up too. Okay. And then what I like to do is just put some of this cleaner. It's just like a furniture polish, basically, is all it is. Everything that they market for guitars is just common stuff you can buy at the grocery store. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments. Oh, you're not supposed to use mineral oil or lemon oil or blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I've used it on all the guitars I've cleaned up and never had any issues with it. It's not like I'm cleaning them every single day. I don't know. So, okay, there you go. And it smells nice and it looks good. So everything's sort of shiny now. And this is an open pore finish on this Eastman. It's a really, really nice looking guitar. They make really quality instruments. This is all solid wood, solid mahogany, and Sitka spruce top. Okay, so now let's figure out where we're going to put this battery compartment, and we'll take it upstairs and run the router over it real quick, or the Dremel. So we're going to put this right in the end right there, but you got to avoid the heel. There's a block in there, so you want to make sure you avoid that. So let's see if we can actually get, see, I can't get my arm in these things, so I can't touch to tell if there's a, I'm sure there's a block in there, but where it is there we go. You can get those little mirrors. Yeah, so if I stay right in here, I'm pretty sure I'll be all right. So okay, so we're going to take out this thing. This is the battery compartment that came in it. There's already a battery on it, and it's got a red wire and a black wire. This new one's got a red wire and a black wire, and hopefully they will reach each other. So I might have to run a little bit longer wire, because I don't think that's gonna match, gonna reach. Yeah. It's going to be close if it does reach. So, okay, so what we're going to do, yeah. So I've actually got red and black wire from other projects. So I guess I'll just jumper the two together, take these, cut these ends off, strip them, and okay, so what I have are some of these butt splices, they call them. So we'll need 4 of those. And you just stick the end of the wire in there. Take your things here, crimp it down, and then that joins the wire. So we'll do that. So we're going to cut this, and we'll cut it long so that we can use this, you know, like if we wanted to put it back together later or whatever, we can use the that battery and then we'll do the same with this. We'll cut it a little bit long, so if we ever needed that, you know, plug there for any reason, then we could use it. So, okay. All right. So then you just take your crimper, and that's on there, and black to black, red to red. Probably a good policy to get them in the right. Okay, there you go. So that's joined, and then we'll make sure we have enough to reach. I'll cut that. And then once inside, we will, you know, we'll secure it up in there. I don't know if I've got those little double face things that you stick on, and they got like a zip tie. They're like a zip tie anchor. We'll see if I can find some of those. So now you put the other crimp on. And then we'll do the same with this. Ouch. Try not to crimp your fingers. Okay. And then we'll sort of twist all these together, probably put some tape on there to hold it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we have our extended cord, and now we'll have to take this upstairs. So we're gonna use some tape so we'll just tape the end of this thing here, and we'll just take a pen and sort of mark out where that end of this thing is. So obviously we need to make it a little bit bigger than that. So now we've got sort of a template, and as long as we stay within, you know, we'll just cut just to the outside of that inner mark. And so we're going to put this on this outside of the guitar here, figure out kind of where we want it. That sounds good. That looks good. So now, like I said, as long as we stay within that line, and then that way the screws, you know, because you want to make sure you don't cut past where the screws are either, because you want some wood in there to grab onto. So if you take this and flip it around and go over your template, you can mark where the holes are going to be at, so you make sure you don't shave too much. That's going to be really close, so I'm going to have to really try to stay as close to that inside line as possible. Okay, so I'll take this out with me so I can test fit it, and we'll fire up the Dremel and cut a hole in our guitar. So let's go. So as usual, nothing works the way it's supposed to. I didn't get the camera wasn't going when I routed this hole out. Basically, I was going to start with the Dremel, but the bit was too dull, so I switched over to the trim router with just a real fine bit in that, and then I just plunged it in there, followed that outline, went back and made it a little bit bigger because it wasn't quite fitting the first try, and now, as you can see, it fits in pretty good. So we'll take it back down to the basement and screw this in. All right, so now we're back in the shop, or the basement rather, the studio, and so we've got that long cable, and it will basically reach to the outside of this hole there, which is good because we want to be able to connect it easily. Okay, so we've got our, let me raise that up a little bit. Oops. Okay, so there's our, let me tape that. So you can see the hole, nice hole. That bit really did a good job. And this is definitely solid mahogany, so they were right about that. Okay, so make these bigger and get our other crimpers out, and then we'll put this on the black wire. One on the red wire. Okay, and then the same with the black and red on the battery box. Alright, then we'll twist that up, and we'll probably put some electrical tape to hold those. I don't know, I think it'll be alright. I don't think we need to worry about that. We'll just secure it on the inside somewhere, and then let's see, so we want it to open that way. So when we're playing, there we go. Okay, so now we'll take our, oh, sure, we gotta find some screws that'll fit those, because that didn't come with screws. I'll put some links in the description, but so now I gotta find some screws for that, and then we'll screw that down. Okay, so I found 4 little screws. They're a little bit smaller than the screws you would use for a pick guard, so they should go right in there. I'm going to use my masking tape to tape this thing down so it doesn't move around. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so we got a really tiny drill bit, really small, so we're going to drill right in there. Okay, so hopefully that'll be big enough. Nerve-wracking. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we can pull the tape off of there. Okay, so now we can open this up, slide the battery in, which is negative is that side. Okay, so there's a little thing on the outside that tells you what's what. There you go. And another thing we want to do is take some zip ties, little small zip ties, and secure that cable in there to the other cables that are in here, so that everything's kind of held together. Okay, there we go. Nice and clean. Okay, we can put the strings back on and tune it up. All right, let's check it out. See if it works. Yeah. So then we'll undo it. And then, yeah, so you lost the signal. So it does work. Cool, so there you go. Give your acoustic guitar a spa day with Fretalizer. Let's check out their website here real quick. This is it. It's FRTLZR.com. This is the product right here, the Fret Polishing Kit Premium Bundle. 39, I believe that's euros, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see what else. So you get the little handle, the different grits of sandpaper, polishing paper, the metal fretboard protector, and then the little foam block and the different grits of sandpaper basically. They're saying it's a set of micro mesh premium polishing grit. That's for the Fretalizer itself. That's 1500, 2400, 4000, 8000, and then for the fret end block, the foam piece, they're calling those polishing strips 800, 1500, 3000, and 7000 grit. And then you get the little metal guard there. So it's pretty good. And then they sell these. I think the guitar picks are sold as a separate. There we go. These are the different picks. Hex tone. These are the black picks, and then ivory. And ivory are come in a couple different sizes. And they're pretty nice picks. They're good if you're probably a speed player, metal, or really fast picking. Those I think are going to be something that people that are into that would appreciate. So check them out, Fretalizer. Appreciate them for sponsoring this video. So I finally got this guitar so that annoying battery compartment is gone. Now I can just stick a battery in there if I want to take the battery out. So when I'm not playing it, I can take the battery out. Then, you know, makes it so much easier. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Jayce Allan, Jayce Allan Guitar. We'll see you next time.